camera. All right. So we're going to start talking today about decimal division. And decimal division is not a whole lot different from decimal by whole number division. What we need to be able to do before we do a problem is we need to take a look at our divisor. So if I have this problem right here, can you read it for me, please? Maria, what is that number right there?
6 and 5/10.
Great job, Maria. 6 5/10 divided by this number, Maria.
1.210.
Awesome. On the outside of this traditional division symbol, we have the divisor. That's the divisor. Does anybody recall what we call the number on the inside of the bracket? It's also a D word. Lucy?
Dividend?
It is the dividend. Fantastic. Before we do decimal by decimal division, we need to eliminate the decimal in the divisor. And to eliminate it, I need to move it over here. I now have a whole number divisor. Yes? What is my whole number now? What is my divisor this time, Hannah? 13. Hannah, if I move the decimal on the outside of the bracket, I have to move the decimal on the inside of the bracket. But let's talk about what we did to 1 3/10. What did we do mathematically to 1 3/10 to make it 13? What did we do to it to make it 13? Jenna?
We moved the decimal point over.
Okay, visually that's what we did, but mathematically, how did we go from 1 3/10 to 13? Haley?
By multiplying it by 10.
We're multiplying it by 10. So when you take the decimal to the right, we're multiplying by 10. If I multiply my divisor by 10, Haley, I have to multiply my dividend by 10 as well to keep the magnitude of the problem the same. So 6 5/10 times 10 is how much?
65.
65. Fantastic. Haley, I'm now decimal free in my divisor. And I can ask myself, how many 13s are in 65? And what would the answer to that be?
5.
5. So 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. 65 minus 65 is 0. I have no leftovers. My quotient is 5. Let's look at another one. 13 2/10 divided by 2 2/10. My divisor has a decimal in it, Samaje. I need to make 2 2/10 22. If I multiply the outside of the bracket by 10 to get rid of the decimal, I have to multiply the inside by the same amount, which was 10, right? So 13 2/10 times 10 puts my decimal here. Samaj, I have a whole number divisor now, right?
Yeah.
Teddy, he can't see past you. All right. Then I can proceed with the algorithm we've been talking about the last couple of days. How many 22s are in 1, Samaje? 0. How many 22s are in 13, Samaje? 0. How many 22s are in 132? 22 is really close to 20, isn't it? And 132 is really close to 130. It's also close to 120, isn't it?
Yeah.
And 20 times 6 would be 120. So that's kind of close. Should we try 6? All right. It also gives us the right number in the ones place. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 1 more is 13. So 6 times 22 is 132. So our quotient is 6. Seems easy enough, right? Okay, I'm going to throw a curveball to you now, and we'll see how we do. All right. 20 and 7/10 divided by 6/10. All right. Ariana, I have a decimal in my divisor. Yes. I need to get rid of it. To make it go away, I have to times it by 10. My new divisor is 6. If I multiply the outside of my bracket by 10, I also have to multiply the inside of my bracket by 10. So 20 and 7/10 becomes 207. Are you with me? Okay, now Ariana, excuse me. How many 6's are in 2? 0. How many 6's are in 20? 3 times 6 is?
18.
20 minus 18 is?
2.
Is 2 less than 6?
Yeah.
Awesome, we're ready to drop another number. How many 6's are in 27?
4.
4 times 6 is 24. 27 minus 24 is how much, Ariana? 3. Is 3 less than 6?
Yeah.
Ariana, I'm out of numbers. And I have a leftover. There are a couple of options for what I can do right now. The first option is I can look at this as a fraction remainder. And I know that 3/6 equals 1/2. Do you know that also? My question for you, Ariana, is do you know what 1/2 is as a decimal? It's okay if you don't. Lily, what's 1/2 as a decimal?
5/10.
5/10. I could do that and be done. Because I know the fractional value for my leftovers is 5/10. But let's say I didn't know that. There might be a harder leftover that you get. So let's take a look and see if we can figure out how this happened. 6th grade, if I add a 0 to the right of the decimal point, do I change the value of my dividend? No, I don't change the value at all. If I drop that 0, I'm still not changing the value, right? Jayla, what are my leftovers now? 30? Jayla, does 6 go into 30?
Mm-hmm.
How many times?
5.
5. 5 times 6 is 30. 30 minus 30 is 0. I have no leftovers. 34 and 5/10 is my quotient.